Hi guys, thanks for joining. So the internet is melting again, this time over groceries. A Nigerian woman posted a short clip showing a supermarket haul proudly that she spent over 500,000 nairas. That might sound impressive until you do the math. That's roughly 6,000 rands. So this fueled the war against South Africans and Nigerians. So because this was only a few items wrapped in plastics, no fancy brands, no overflowing of the cars, just vibe. So Twitter did what it does best. So they laughed, analyzed, and dragged everyone inside. So this started that conflict between Nigeria and South Africa. Like this clip here, let me play it.
Four richest black people alive in Nigeria. South Africa, come here.
Is that something you're trying to say? You want everyone to do?
He's stating that.
Dog, you don't even want to live in your own country. I do, because I can. No, why
We're talking numbers. You have the numbers.
You have $5 million in Nigeria,
Yes.
okay? That $5 million in South Africa is just 10 in terms of the value that I can get out of it compared to Nigeria. Numbers, all of that, at the end of the day, it's quality of life. Because I know 4 billion is personally from your country. They don't live in your country.
They're in and out. They spend a lot of time there. But that's
part of it.
Okay, living situations, South Africa is better.
Why
I'll give
would
them
I want
that.
in Nigeria?
But the reality is, I can have a super quality of life in Nigeria.
But is it safe?
It's safe enough. It's safer than London, that's for sure. I agree with you. Value for money in Nigeria is shitful. And that's why everybody takes the money out. And the reason I don't live there is because you and I know to make an impact is next to impossible in Nigeria. You know, first of all, I think the first step, I know 1,000 people that need to die in Nigeria. Their dog, their cat, side chicks, all.
So just after that, they started comparing women who dress better, who look the best. Here's a clip below.
This person said, I like your content, but you praise South Africa too much. Firstly, I give credit to where it is due, not based on emotion or sentiment, whatever you may call it. So my praise of South Africa is objective appreciation grounded in factual reality. I am not glorifying South Africa blindly. I am simply acknowledging their achievement. But since you are from Nigeria, let's compare and tell me why I should not praise South Africa. Economically, judging by the GDP of today between South Africa and Nigeria, the GDP of South Africa is almost $500 billion. The GDP of Nigeria is close to $300 billion. The population of Nigeria is 237 million people. Thereabout, the population of South Africa, about 64 million people, if I'm not mistaken. So what you see here is that South Africa GDP is way bigger than Nigeria GDP, even though the population of Nigeria is way bigger than South Africa population. But that is how you create wealth disparities. All right. So economic inequality in Nigeria is way higher than the economic inequality in South Africa. Now let's talk about their healthcare system. South Africa healthcare system is one of the best in the world, ahead of Nigeria. Educational system, one of the best in the world, ahead of Nigeria. What about land area? Judging by land mass, South Africa is way bigger than Nigeria. And when it comes to these two African countries, who has the highest number of millionaires in dollar? South Africa beats Nigeria hands down. There are more than 41,000 millionaires in dollar in South Africa, with a population of 64 million, thereabout. Nigeria, with a population of 237 million, they have just about 7,100 millionaires in dollar, or 8,000 thereabout. Matter of fact, Kenya is very close to Nigeria when it comes to number of millionaires in dollar. What is the population of Kenya? Just 54 million. But I digress. Now let's compare institution. It's clear that in South Africa, the parliament can challenge the president because they have independent judiciary. In Nigeria, it's personal power over institution. Nobody can challenge the president now. Of course, Nigeria is a federation, but it's just on paper. In reality, power lies in one place in Nigeria, and that is Abuja and Lagos. In South Africa, it's more of province control. So you see what I'm saying? What about infrastructure? South Africa is ahead of Nigeria on that. I mean, look at Johannesburg, look at Cape Town, look at Durban. You cannot compare them to any city in Nigeria aside Lagos. And Lagos is actually congested, but Still, Lagos is way better than 99% of cities in Nigeria. All right, so let's talk about national identity here. In South Africa, is national identity over tribalism, over tribal differences. But in Nigeria, is tribal unity, tribal loyalty over national unity. The few Nigerians that are fighting for the unity of this country are the Nigerians at the top, those that are benefiting. All right, but we can clearly tell that average Nigerians are tired of this forced unity. And what about, cleanness? South Africa is more clean. South Africa is more organized compared to Nigeria. What about, natural view? South Africa's natural view is one of the best in the world. So there are so many things I can go on and on, but I'm just saying South Africa is better than Nigeria. And this is not to say South Africa is perfect. They have their own challenges like crime, like inequality, so many other things as well. But all in all, South Africa is still 100 times better than Nigeria. All right. So again, I'm not trying to say that Nigeria do not have a positive aspect that worth discussing, but in reality, we need more. We should do better, judging by our population. With our population, if we can utilize our population, the creativity, the potential that you are going to see will make Nigeria one of the greatest nations on earth. But the way we are going about things, that dream will die. For real. And don't get it twisted. Leaders are not going to save Nigeria, because the leaders you see in Nigeria today are there for their own personal interest. They don't care about the growth of this country called Nigeria. So right now, South Africa has a better leadership more than Nigeria. What about cultural influence? We export music right now. South Africa also export music. We export movie. South Africa also export movie. All right. But what is the current condition of the Nigerian movie right now? Kind of shaky. What they are producing these days is nothing to write home about, and is affecting our global image. All right. What about global image? South Africa has a better global image compared to Nigeria. Right now, South Africa branding is top notch. On the other hand, Nigeria branding is negative. No disrespect. So we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. So I don't actually praise South Africa blindly. I am acknowledging their achievement and looking at how hard external powers outside Africa is working to make sure that every African country do not develop. You have to take your time to praise every African country that is developing, because there is serious sabotage against every African country from external powers. Even though our leaders are some of the problems that we have, but there are some of our leaders that are very, very intelligent. They know what is going on, but they cannot put their ways into action to avoid being assassinated. All right, so this is a problem that needs to be addressed. All in all, South Africa remains a better country compared to Nigeria. No disrespect to you.
Bro, which country is better, South Africa or Nigeria? I'm gonna show you both, and you tell me which country is better and more developed. But first, let me just show you what South Africa looks like. Bro, if you thought South Africa looked crazy, let me just show you what Nigeria looks like. Bro, so which country is better and more developed, South Africa or Nigeria?